Okay guys, welcome to another Mamemeister mashup. If you happen to follow or watch the Mamemeister and Chumstock Pish episode 3, which had Brian C in it, that was put out earlier on this week. Brian said that one of his favourite favourite titles back in the day was Speed King on the Amstrad CPC 464. I remember playing this game on my Commodore 64 and it was pretty damn good, so I thought I'll give it a wee shot. Now I think Brian mentioned that him and his dad used to play, was at Silverstone, they used to try and get the best times, so that's exactly what I'm going to try and do. I've never even played this particular version, and the last time I played it on the C64 was probably about 32 years ago. Yeah, a third of a century. So anyway, let's give this a go. How do we start it? Right, Sweden, Spain, East Germany, San Marino. Okay, right, let's go for that. We start, let's just go, we'll stick with novice I think, and we shall go for practice preview. Now let's have a look at the preview. Right, okay, it's just right, okay, that's the preview. Right, big bend in the right, okay, it looks very much like pole position. In fact, that's the thing, to me it was pole position, but better, if that makes any sense. Right, how do we stop said preview? It looks like we're going to have to wait for it to get to the end. Now one interesting thing which you may or may have not noticed at the very start of this video, the chap that wrote this game was the guy that did 3D Death Chase on the Spectrum, which is probably one of the Spectrum's best sort of racer type games. It's a really early game and it's an utterly fantastic technical achievement. It's great fun to play, and it's blindingly fast, and it's still a game that stands up very much today. So he actually wrote this. Right, okay, right. Remind me not to do that again. There you go, MJ Escort. I don't know what his initials stood for. Michael Jackson possibly. Ah hee hee. Yeah, anyway, let's go for that. Practice, so we want to change, we want to go for whoops, there we go, there's Silverstone there, Daytona. Let's jump right in with Silverstone. Now, I'm sure Brian said it was the very first bend that was the biggie, or was it the third one? I don't know, the third one possibly. Right, anyway, let's just jump straight in. Right, now I'm delighted to see pressing the fire button. Alright, okay, pulling down changes gears. Yeah, pressing the fire button makes you accelerate, which is good because a lot of these racing games, it seems to be jerking out a wee bit here. A lot of the race games in the sort of the 8 and 16-bit, they always relied on you to press the joystick forward. Which was always a pain in the arse because it meant you're having to hold a joystick forward and try and turn it at the same time. Right, as you can tell, I'm doing absolutely awful. I love the sort of the Tron sound effect of the engine. I'm guessing it's actually a light cycle it is on. Ooh, hugs the bend too well, up to 180 miles an hour. The secret here, before I'm going to talk too soon and probably crash, is you don't have to brake, you just take your finger off the fire button. Okay, what was my best time? 121. Guessing there's about 10 seconds that can be saved in this. Balls. Right, so pressing forwards actually makes you go down a gear. saving these hundreds of seconds is all going to be vital, so really good gear changing is a must. Something I'm not very good at. Yeah, it does look very, very similar to the C64 one. What's interesting is the top of the track. You can see the other lines in the track are obviously white and red, yet at the very top of the track they've kind of gone for a sort of a maroon burgundy kind of shade. Is that just to sort of try and showcase the Amstrad's better colour palette? Don't drive in the grass, kids, on motorbikes, because you'll always come off second best. Oops, I keep forgetting to change up gears. That was a bit silly. Yeah, the sound effect sounds like a bloody nuclear reactor about to explode. But it does, it's got a really good feel to it. You know, a lot of there's not many good race games, in my opinion, on the 8-bit, because they really weren't technically proficient enough to sort of to do a good version. You know, you needed to have sort of good kind of almost 3D processing ability, and 8-bits simply didn't do that. I mean, there were one or two exceptions. I mean, you had stuff like Chase HQ and the Spectrum, and a few things, Super Cycle and the Commodore 64 and things like that, but in the main there weren't that many good race games. I mean, Pit Stop wasn't bad. Pit Stop 2 on the C64 was pretty good. Oops, come on. Wait a minute, what's that 103? Was that my last lap? Surely not. Right, we need to get under a minute. Absolutely need to get that. I'm not sure how you brake. How do you brake? Ah, wait a minute. No, I don't know how to brake, because the fire button does the acceleration. Pressing up makes you go down a gear, and pressing down makes you go up a gear, so how would you actually brake? Not that there's any real requirement to brake in this game. I wouldn't have thought you could just take your finger off the accelerator. Right, this time. Let's reduce the talking. Because as my wife always tells me, I don't have the ability to multitask. Ah, bollocks! Case in point. But it does control really well. It's quite responsive, and any mistake you make, like what I'm about to do here, don't leave the road, is purely down to the... What? Was that 106? Alright, if I can just not crash. Ah, bollocks, it's that old. I think it's that's the corner he's talking about. Right, I'm determined to get round without crashing. And I think getting to know when to change up the gears, that's when you really need to listen to the engine, or your Tron vehicle, whatever it's called. But this is a solid little racing game, and I can completely get what Brian was saying about him and his dad. Just used to just used to cane this particular track. You know, rather than playing, right, here we go, I'm going to count and concentrate. 1, 2. Right, I don't know how to brake in this game. Possibly should have read the instructions a bit better, but how difficult can a racing game be? Right, I'm determined to have one complete lap, so just bear with me kids, and I'm going to go around once more. I think the only way to brake in this game is to really go down the gears. So let's just coast round. I want to get in maximum speeds across the start line. Yeah, there's no other bend in this particular track. Right, here we go. 1, 2. Bloody hell, that was 4th gear and I wasn't even accelerating. Like, anyway, listen, that's enough of that. I think, suffice to say, I would have come 3rd place between Brian and his dad, because I'm pretty awful at this. But yeah, cracking little game. So anyway guys, that is it. That is Speed King. I think it was originally written by and published by Digital Integration, but I noticed this version for the Amstrad was released by Mastertronic. Anyway guys, as usual, thank you very much for watching.